It's time now for a look at the latest business news here on France 24. I'm Kate Moody. We start off with some good news for the UK economy, which grew at its fastest pace since the end of 2007. The government confirmed GDP growth of 0.8% for the second quarter. That's the same pace as the beginning of the year. It revised upwards its annual rate of growth from 3.1 to 3.2%. The service sector, which makes up more than 75% of economic activity, remained the main driver of growth, while the construction sector performed better than expected. A growing concern in the UK is the increasing gap between wages and inflation. The Bank of England has made that a key factor in its decision about if and when to raise interest rates. Now, those figures come in stark contrast to Thursday's growth figures from the Eurozone. GDP growth in both Germany and Italy slipped into decline, while France and the Eurozone as a whole stagnated at 0% growth. Despite that flatline, François Hollande remains optimistic that his plan to cut payroll taxes and boost job creation will put the French economy back on track.
France is the world's fifth biggest economy, and with these reforms, it intends to stay at that level. France counts in the world and on the international stage.
Now, Asian markets saw one of their best trading days in months this Friday, but we saw a more mixed picture here in Europe. The major indices tumbled late in the trading session amid fears about a new outbreak of violence in Ukraine. Just the FTSE closing in the green there, still riding high on that news of strong economic growth in the UK. Wall Street is also trading in negative territory after a positive start to the day. The Dow losing 130 points throughout the session. That's most of its gains for the year so far. Now, bank accounts for all. That's the promise from India's Narendra Modi, marking his first Independence Day since sweeping to power 3 months ago. He called on global businesses to bring manufacturing to India and boost the country's once booming economic growth, which has slowed in recent years. Luke Brown has the details on the new Prime Minister's economic agenda.
Narendra Modi raises the flag on India's Independence Day. The new Prime Minister outlining his government's objectives, including a vow to eradicate poverty. With that goal, Modi promising bank accounts for all in a nation where 40% of the population don't have one. That would facilitate the payment of future state subsidies for the poor. Modi, famed for revamping industry in Gujarat state when he was governor there, underlining that modernising manufacturing and international trade are vital for India.
Go and sell all over the world, but produce and manufacture your wares here. We have skill, talent, discipline and determination to do quite a bit. We want to give the world this favourable opportunity. Come, make in India.
Come, make in India.
Modi's BJP party was swept to power in May on a wave of economic hope. He promised reforms to reverse India's fortunes as it sees growth stagnate, currently stuck around 5%, half its level of 2010. But so far, Modi has announced few major concrete changes, in part due to political obstacles in New Delhi. Indeed, Modi says his next priority is overhauling India's governance and bureaucracy. Amongst the first steps forwards, Modi announcing the end of India's Soviet-inspired 5-year plans. But as India remains on track to become the world's most populous nation in just over a decade, Modi's task to tackle poverty is huge. A quarter of the world's malnourished people live in India.
Turning to some of the day's other business headlines now. Austria's Signa Group has bought Germany's struggling department store chain Karstadt for a symbolic €1. Karstadt, which has 83 stores and 17,000 employees across Germany, has seen sales fall and made a net loss of €34 million in the first half of its fiscal year. Finnair has cut its profit forecast for the year as it reported quarterly losses of €20 million, falling from profits of $7.5 million a year ago. The state-controlled airline says it's facing stiff competition from discount carriers and high fuel prices, and its plan to cut costs have faced strong resistance from unions. It could fall into further difficulty with its routes to Asia if Russia decides to ban European flights through its airspace. H&M sales jumped higher than expected 17% in July from a year ago, its 10th straight month of double-digit growth. The The group said it's been investing in its online business and expanding its brands. The Swedish fashion retailer was cautious about its outlook for the rest of the year, though, saying it could be impacted by rising labor costs in Asia, where it produced most of its garments. And we'll end with a birthday celebration. It's been 100 years since the Panama Canal opened for business, connecting the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans and revolutionizing global trade. Nearly 80 kilometers long, it was run by the Americans until the turn of the century when Panama took it over. It now handles about 5% of total world shipping, with 18,000 vessels passing through each year. It's also undergoing a controversial and expensive makeover. The $5.3 billion expansion project has been stalled by strikes, legal problems, and disagreements about cost, and is now running more than a year behind schedule. That's all for this business bulletin. Do stay tuned to France 24.
Yoann Denys of France set a new world record as he won the men's 50k walk at the European Athletics Championships in Zurich. The two-time defending champion finished in 3 hours 32 minutes 33 seconds, more than 3.5 minutes ahead of Slovenia's Matej Toth, with Russia's Ivan Noskov taking bronze. Luis Suarez was finally able to train with his new Barcelona teammates on Friday, a month after his €80 million move from Liverpool. A day earlier, the Uruguayan forward lost his appeal over a 4-month ban for biting Italy's Giorgio Chiellini during the World Cup. But the Court of Arbitration for Sport allowed him to resume non-competitive activities, so he could play in a friendly on Monday. He's targeting El Clasico against Real Madrid in October for his full debut. Former Barcelona manager Gerardo Martino has been presented as the new head coach of Argentina. He's taking over from Alejandro Sabella, who took the two-time champions to the final of the World Cup in Brazil. Martino only lasted 1 season at the Nou Camp, as the team failed to win any trophies for the first time since 2008. But he now gets to link up again with Javier Mascherano and Lionel Messi.
Well,
in Lionel Messi and Javier Mascherano's case, we have an advantage, I think. I spent the last year with them, seeing how they train and play. Messi's role in the team will be the same as it is with Barcelona, being the best player in the world. He has that responsibility, and he truly is the best player in the world. For Javier, he's being seen as a vital leader within the squad. But for me, I've always seen that in him. His leadership has always been evident to me. Martino's first game is a World Cup final friendly rematch against champions Germany on September the 3rd. Belgium's Greg van Avermaet has taken stage 5 of the Eneco Tour in the Netherlands. The 160k route took the peloton onto treacherous cobblestones. No major falls, though. 3 escapees took the race on. Matteo Trentin, Pablo Lastras and Jens Duboucher looking dominant for most of Friday. It wasn't to last, though, the peloton sucking them in with 4 kilometres to go. And in the final kilometre, it was van Avermaet who attacked, crossing the line all alone. France's Pierre-Ambroise Bosse has put himself in the frame for European gold in Friday's 800 metres final after cruising through the heats. The 22-year-old who took bronze in Helsinki 2 years ago ran a personal best of 1 minute 42.53 in last month's Monaco Diamond League meeting. He explained his achievement in the Principality by quoting Kenyan-Danish legend Wilson Kipketer.
Well,
Kipketer said there are days when everything comes together. One day in the year, all the factors are gathered for the performance and you'll be at your best. And this day in Monaco, that happened. I suffered less than during my former records and other races in my career. When I saw the time, it was strange because everything felt easy, whereas often I suffer on the track. But at Monaco, all was okay, and I was very surprised. Bosse admits he prefers races ran at quicker tempos and has struggled when made to engage in tactical battles on the track. My ability to put myself in a good position during tactical races or my ability to change pace, all these things are difficult for me, whereas very fast races are better for me, even if it's difficult to recover afterwards. This kind of race suits me better. Yuri Burakovsky won in Helsinki with 1:48.61, but the Russian 2004 Olympic gold medalist retired in July. Boss now has other rivals.
Que je gagne à 1 millimètre ou
If I win by a millimetre or 100 metres, for me it's the same thing. I'm like all athletes. I want the gold medal. I'm like a child. I want to bite the medal too. I know how I will run. There are always opponents in heats or in the final who will be testing me. I know that the two most dangerous are the Poles, Marcin Lewandowski and Adam Schott. If you see videos of them, I know that, and you know that. I will be in the final, of course, and I will not disappoint my fans and my family. Boss has already experienced a European podium. He'll be wanting to take another step up this time, turning his bronze from 2 years ago into gold.